everyone. So, for this week, we are supposed to talk about how we are doing and how we're retaining the information in the class. I feel like I'm doing pretty well. Um, no complaints. I think it's interesting. I like learning about the different marginalized populations that you don't really ever think about um, when you're considering the type of clients that you'll see. But I think it's cool. I think it's different and it's interesting to learn about. And then regarding the politics and guns and school crises that are going on and how that'll affect future clients that I might see. After reviewing some of the literature that we were provided, I was I was really disturbed by the one article that talked about how mental illness has been spun into this crazy thing because of President Trump, and how people have been asking people if they think he's psychologically fit for office, and how it's making mental illness seem like a really taboo thing, especially after all the work we've put into of reducing the stigma and getting rid of the associations people will have with mental illness. I don't know, it really sat in the wrong way with me, just because people are associating mental illness with racism and sexism and xenophobia, and that's not what it is. And I didn't realize that this type of witch hunt that's going on with President Trump had happened in another election before. How it happened with Senator Goldwater, and how psychiatrists are saying that he wasn't fit for the presidency even though none of them had evaluated him. I think that was really interesting for me, just because I had never really heard of another president going through something similar like President Trump has. But I definitely think that it's an interesting case to be made, and it's been very harmful on the stigmatization of mental health for sure. And then regarding gun control and school crises and school shootings, I think that that's gonna impact the clients I see quite a bit, especially since I intend to see a younger population. And I think even for me personally, I get nervous being in large crowds, and going to the movie theaters, and in college I would get nervous being in large auditoriums or lecture halls, just because the media makes it seem mass shootings happen so often. And I can definitely see myself having clients coming in having severe issues with anxiety and being extremely anxious in social situations or places that have crowds, mainly just because I've experienced it myself, and I feel nervous being in areas where someone could have a gun and something could happen. So I can see myself working with that population specifically on that, just because it's common and it happens, and it's scary. It starts to impact your day-to-day when you think oh my gosh, what if someone brought a gun into a grocery store? What if someone brought a gun to the movie theater? It becomes this intrusive thought that constantly sits with you. So I can definitely see how that would impact some of the people I see. Same for the political aspect. It's everywhere. It's all over the media. You never go a day without hearing something new about President Trump. So I can see why people would have anxiety surrounding that, with like all the extremism and the crazy thoughts that go on surrounding him. But those are my thoughts. Thanks for listening.